this morning, good morning once again. We will be moving to other aspects of frequency distribution, and from there we will proceed to all the necessary formulas and analysis that are belong into that aspect. We have our material here. So under the material, there are different things we need to know. So the last time we covered this area, so we stop here at the tally. Now we move into class limits. Let's move on. Class limits. So when do we use class limits and how do we use it? So in a nutshell, class limits are the smallest and the largest observation. Class limits, I don't want to, okay, let me just give us short, is the smallest and largest observation. Observations. Observation can be in form of data.
Excuse me, sir, your screen is not clear.
etc. in each class. In each class. Hence, we can say that hence, comma, each class has two limits. Each class has two limits. We'll all see it very soon. It's either you have a lower limit or you have an upper limit. Lower limit or upper limit. So we have it. Then I would rather use example to draw our attention to be able to solve some of the problem. Then we have another thing. Let me call this one number one. Let me call class limits number one. Then the number two. Number two, we can call a class boundary. For class boundary, I'll just give us a short illustration in class boundary. Class boundary is when you work on both lower and upper class limits. On class boundary, what we normally do for lower class boundary, it has two too. It has lower.
I'm not hearing your voice.
Can you hear my voice?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Yes, sir. We can hear you, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
so we have lower class boundary.
Yes, sir.
We can hear you, sir.
Sir? Sir, your screen is not clear.
The screen is clear. Check from your end.
You can zoom it or you use your course material, please.
So we have, this is quite different from course material, please. The one that says is not clear, please check your gadgets. We have lower class boundary and we have upper class boundary. It's just a facilitation that I'm doing, not really a teaching. So, but I will try as much as possible to come to our level. Now, for lower class boundary, what do we do for lower class boundary? In a nutshell, you said lower class boundary is equals to lower class limit minus 0.5. Then for upper class boundary will be upper class limit is plus 0.5. I hope I'm clear. When you are calculating class boundary, it simply means you deduct 0.5 from the class limit, the lower class limit, and you add 0.5 to the upper class limit. Don't make that mistake. Let's continue. So we have class width, we have class mark, and so on and so forth. We have class midpoint too. But let's go to the example. From example, I'll be explaining the way you will solve them. And from then, you will also have ideas how you write convenient formula, probably, let me call it formula, that you think you can use. But before then, I want us to write, yes, Olumin, Apanishile, you raise up your hands.
Yes, sir. Please, can you please explain this upper class limit? Are we going to minus it?
I can't hear you very well. It's better you. Hello?
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, you are using two gadgets.
Sir?
Are you using two gadgets?
No.
Okay, go ahead. I can hear you now.
You said we add lower class limit plus upper class limit, yes?
Sorry, I can't hear it.
So, Apanishile, can you repeat yourself, please?
You said we'll add lower class limit.
Just look at the board.
Limit.
Look at the board first.
Yes. Are we adding it together?
For which of them?
Lower class limit.
Lower class limit for what? Okay. Is it how to get lower class limit?
Yes.
Okay. How to get lower class limit? We are just saying lower class limit, they are the smallest. They are divided into two. Remember last week when I gave you an assignment, okay, maybe I should go, okay, look at this. Have you seen this? Have you seen this tally?
Yes, sir.
What is lower class limit here? Or what is upper class limit here?
5.
5 is what?
Upper class limit.
Upper class limit.
Yes.
That is, this is the lowest class limit, and this is upper class limit. Can you get it now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, truly we call it class interval is because we've not gotten to the, we are still working. Please mute yourself. So in this case now, our lower class limit is 1. Our upper class limit is 5. Are you getting it now? So have I answered your question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how do we discover? Don't worry, by the time we get there, I will explain further how you pick lower and upper when you have on group or group data. If you have group data like this, this is group data. This is group data. So it is easier for us to continue from here. So, and both lower and upper class limit must be within the data set you are given. You cannot just say -1 to 5. Where do you get -1? Do you have -1 in your data set? No. So you cannot have -1 or -10 here. You said because it's lower, it must be lower. No, it doesn't work that way. Gifts. You raise up.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
My question is, how do you that's 0.0 minus your minusing and adding? Is it just a constant, a fixed figure? Just
Yes. For your level, let me say that you are just to use the formula, not to know how to prove it, because if I begin to prove that, you will run away from the class. So it is better. I'll just give you the only short way to get it. Nobody will ask you to prove it.
Hear you.
Check your phone.
Thank you. So have I answered you, Gift?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, Godfred. Godfred.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
So if you just show us the work now, which is the work we did last week, you say that is the group data. I want to ask, sir, how do we know it's a group data if we see it somewhere?
Now, remember we started this work somewhere. This is on group. Were you in the class last week?
Yes, sir.
Now, at this point, we remember what we said here, that this is on group data. But anytime it's in the array like this, is in class interval like this, it's turned into group data. And you already have the frequency. That is why it's a group data. Have I answered that?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, Emmanuel.
Yeah. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Please speak louder.
Okay. I'm sorry. I joined the class a little bit late, and I joined when you were giving the formula, the 0.5 and the 0. Adding or minusing.
Sir, we can't hear you.
Emmanuel Okafor, can you speak up, please?
Can you hear me?
A bit closer to your volume, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so I was asking, I joined the class when you were saying when it is the lower class limit, you minus 0.5. When it's upper class limit, you add 0.5. So my question is, what will you be proving to, do that calculation to add or minus? Because
by the time they ask you to solve, look for class boundary.
Yes, I checked, and I've been trying to,
No, that's what I'm saying. You ask a question that when will you be asked, what will you be doing that will take you to take 0 minus 0.5, add 0.5. Anytime you are asked to do class boundary of a class limit or class interval, that is when you perform that operation. Is it okay?
Okay. When you are asked to do a class boundary of a class limit
of a particular class interval or class limit, that is where you do that.
Okay, I see. Thank you.
You're welcome. Wisdom.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Sorry, I came late a little bit. I just want to know,
check,
sir.
if you came late a little bit, please check the recording. Thank you. Okay, let's continue, please. Please mute yourself. Okay, so let's move on. For example, if you are asked to calculate, okay, let me share something. Let me show us something in a GV. Can we all see this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. We
Okay.
can.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now that we can see, let me see how to make it simpler. Okay. Okay, we will come back on this. Let's go to the last week. Can you copy this table now as a new one? Everybody, please quickly do that. Let's have this table again in your own way. As for me, I have it already. I want to use it to explain. Now we have class limit to be this. This is our class limit. Mute yourself, please. Mute yourself. So we have the class limit. Let me change this. I don't need the tally now. I believe every one of us have idea of how tally look like. You don't need to write the tally again, please. I call this one class limit. Under the class limit, we are asked to, then we have frequency. Our frequency start from 4, 3, 7, 5, 6, 4, and 1. So we are now asked to calculate the class boundary. In this case, we are asked to calculate class boundary. Calculate class boundaries now. We have class interval or class limit, and you are asked to calculate class boundary. Ololade, what's the question, please? Kindly lower your hand if you don't have any question, please. Okay, now for class boundary now, who can tell us? The first one will be what?
Lower class
Anybody?
limit.
The formula says lower class limit minus 0.5. On a normal day, we can also get our midpoint. Let me put it there. Class midpoint. So class midpoint. So this particular one, we have 1 minus 0.5. And we have 1 minus 0.5 is 0.5. Am I right?
Yes,
Then,
you're right, sir.
Yes, sir.
5 plus 0.5.
5.5, sir.
5.5.
5.5. So let's do that. 1 minus 0.5 is what? 0.5
0.5.
to 5.5. So 6 minus 0.5 is what?
5.5.
To 10.5. You will discover that what is upper limit here will be lower limit to the other class.
Okay.
Just check to yourself. That's how you know whether you are right in your class limit or not.
Yes.
Now, 11 minus 0.5 is what? 10.5.
10.5.
To 15.5.
25.
16 will be what? 15.5.
15.5.
20.5.
Audience. I can't hear you, sir.
So we have 21 to be 20.5 to 25.5. Then we have 25.5 to 30.5. Then 31.5 to what?
Sir, it's 30.5, not 31.5.
30.5.
Thank you.
Okay.
So from here, we can now do our class midpoint. Now, class midpoint, I will quickly explain to us, is addition of class boundary, both lower and upper, divided by 2. Did you get that?
Please, sir, come again.
No, sir,
Class
please come again.
midpoint is equals to lower class boundary plus upper class boundary divided by 2. Or lower class limit plus upper class limit divided by 2. You will see that you will get the same answer. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes, sir. You will get the
Are
same.
you getting the same answer?
Yes, sir.
5 plus 1.
6.
6 divided by 2.
3.
So 0.5 plus 5.5
6.
divided by 2.
3.
Please write everything by yourself. Do everything.
The formula again.
please, I don't understand this class midpoint.
Can you please come again, please?
Good morning, sir. Please, I don't understand. Please come again.
So where?
Class
When I asked you
midpoint.
to mute yourself, you did not mute yourself. Which one you don't understand?
Sir, we don't understand it. Please.
We've not done anything. Now you are complaining.
Sir, we don't know how to get that one, sir.
Which of them?
The class midpoint, sir.
Class
Class midpoint.
is very simple. Just take it easy. Listen to me. Class midpoint is this. Look at the formula. Right? First of all, write this formula down. Class midpoint is lower class boundary. Hello, lecturer 2. Listen to me. Class midpoint is equals to lower class boundary plus upper class boundary. Everything now divided by 2. Or lower class limit plus upper class limit divided by 2. Now, what is our class limit?
There's no like now. Oh.
Our class limit is very simple, 1 to 5. So let's take our class limit. Had just 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 divided by 2 is what? 3.
It's 3.
Then I said 0.5 plus 5.5.
6.
I'm just giving you different way of calculating class midpoint. It's the same question. Then for class midpoint will be 0.5 plus 5.5. So then when you add the two together, you have the same answer.
Sorry, sir, please, can you come again? How did you get the 0.5 minus 5.5?
Just take your time and watch the video later. So let's move
Sir,
on.
sir, please, can you explain the class boundary, please?
Class boundary, the formula for class boundary is here. You can't do anything without formula here. Class boundary says lower class limit minus 0.5. If I don't call you, please mute yourself. Simple instruction. Don't let me remove you. Finally. So lower class boundary is equals to lower class limit minus 0.5, and upper class boundary is equals to upper class limit plus 0.5. Shikena. So,
sir, how do we get the 0.5, sir?
It's from the formula.
It's just like that. How do we get the 0.5? Supposing we have another class limit. How do we get the 0.5?
Don't worry, I will teach you how to get it now.
Okay, sir.
Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
I've explained to you several times. Can you explain to me how you get this formula? Minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by what now?
2a.
Divided by 2a. Do you still remember?
Divided by 2. Wait.
Mr. Godwin, how do you get this? Can you prove this one?
No, sir.
But you know you use it every day.
This one they used to call your mathematical formula. Just to pass the
This
exam.
one too, they used to call it lower class boundary. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
So let's move on, please. Okay, let me quickly share my screen so that we can do everything all together. And from then, we also, okay, let's go to our, I think I have something here. Look at the same thing in your course material. You are given this in your course material. They said upper class limits are these, while lower class limits are this. So what they did was add the two together divided by 2. It's the same thing I did. Then for class limits too, class interval is there, and they did the same thing. I just used the simple one to explain to you. So I want you to go to your class material later after the class and see how do they do it. It is very pretty simple. So for this reason now, we are going to move to, if you look at this now, if you add the two together, what do you have here?
It's 31.
21 divided by 2 is what?
It's 15.5.
31 divided by 2 is 15.5. That is where they have. Then 10.5 plus 20.5 is what?
31.
Divided by 2.
15.5.
So the same thing they do, they call class midpoint, is the same thing they call class mark. Please take note of that. Class mark and class midpoint are the same. The examiner can ask you to calculate class mark or class midpoint of a particular data. So then the class width is the difference between the two. But we should give us an example. I know some of us are like, where did they get all this thing now? I don't understand. You will get it right very soon. These are the group data.
Your network is bad.
Rera, can you mute yourself?
We have some stubborn people in this class. Mute your phone or your gadgets, yet you will not listen to that simple instruction. Okay. Okay, let me give us this so that we can quickly do that together. Everybody, please copy this. Copy this table. Copy this table so that we can solve it together now.
And we cannot see it well.
I believe we can see my screen.
Yes, sir. You cannot see it well.
It's not clear, sir.
It is better you work on your gadget, not me.
Sir, is it only the frequency we should copy? The frequency alone, right?
You are to copy the table. Yes, Friday, you raise up your hand.
Yes, sir. My question is going back to the midpoints.
Is what? I can't hear you, please.
On the midpoint, sir. I'm asking a question based on the midpoint. Now, if I get the first number, will it be wise to say, once I know the class interval, the total number of the class interval, I can begin to add that to the first class midpoint answer I got? Say, for example, in the case of the example we did up there, we have 3 as our first number. If I add 5 to that, it's going to give me 8. Add 5 to 8 is going to give me 13. Is it wise to do that during the exam?
Shortcut, man.
Yeah, You can only do that when you are sure of the data you are working with. If you are not sure, please do it by yourself.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Let's quickly copy the data.
25.
Sir, please, it's not there. What's the page?
Thank you.
What page, please?
It's not there.
This is not your course material. Write the data down.
Oh my.
You are the only one that is shouting it's not clear.
It's not actually clear.
It's not clear, sir. It's not that clear.
It's not that clear. Okay. It will be clear by the time I remove it. Don't worry.
Hello, class. Try to zoom it. When you zoom it, it will be clear.
It's not clear now.
It's long.
Zoom it. If you zoom it, it will be clear.
It's very clear.
It's very clear now. You guys should zoom. You mute yourself. You are disturbing us here now. So if your own is clear, you then keep quiet. Allow the people that are not seeing clear to talk.
The people that are not seeing clear, maybe it's from your phone. You guys should just stop making noise always. I beg.
Very clear now. Very clear now.
It's better now.
Yeah, it's better now. Thank you.
Yeah, it's clear now. Yes.
47.
Thank you.
10.
Quiet. Keep quiet.
So are we done?
No, sir. Sir, almost done, sir.
Yes.
No, sir. No, sir. We are done, sir.
No,
You say you are
you
done,
didn't
not
say
we
we
are.
are. You are done.
I am done, sir.
Oh, not we are done.
I am done, sir, not we.
I am done, sir.
You are done. Are you?
Just make sure that you arrange the data the way they arrange it. 6, 6 per column.
Okay.
And you have 10 columns. That's all.
33, 9, 37.
Please mute your mic and call
Mute
it
and
in.
count your
You're
counting,
distracting
please.
others.
Mute and count your
27.
counting.
2, 8, 12, 58.
Uncle, mute and count your counting. You are
Yourself now.
disturbing.
Mute yourself now.
50.
What this
Abi?
man is
Eh? I go 16. 16.
Abosede Adenike. You raise up your hand.
Yes, sir. But my network went off. Yes, sir. Good. My network went off, so I couldn't hear what you said we should calculate it.
So what? Any question?
Yes, sir.
What's the question?
After writing the table, my network went off, so I didn't hear what you said we should do.
I have not done anything. I just asked them to write the table.
I know we'll write report like this.
So I believe we have it now.
Yes, sir, we have it.
Yes, sir. We have it now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, who can tell
Yes,
us?
sir, we have it.
Okay, thank you so much. Now the question is, did you write the question on top, down, please?
Oh, we did, sir.
No, would not.
Please write the question down because
No,
we
we
will
did
relate to
not.
the question. A task force to encourage the carpooling conducted a study of one-way commuting distances. Please write the question down.
Sir, the question is not clear. We can't see it.
You will soon see it, don't worry. I did not do anything.
And the question is not clear, sir.
Is there? Better let it clear for you, please. Can you? Is it clear now?
Please, those people that are saying that their network is the screen is not clear, please work on your network. It's your network.
Sir, please scroll it down back. Please. Back.
It's not about network.
Law, I can't see. Please, please.
Can you read it out for us?
Okay, somebody should volunteer to read for the real class.
Hi, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
A task force to encourage the carpooling conducted a study of.
That is too fast, too. If you are reading, you should be dictating.
All right, a task
You
force.
dictate, thank you.
A task force. Hello, a task force.
Yeah.
To encourage the car.
Jesus.
Encourage.
Who is so good?
Please mute yourself.
This person that is shouting.
A task force to encourage the carpooling.
Please, I can't see the board any longer.
If you can't see the board, please listen to the dictation. Thank you.
It's very clear now. Nobody should complain again. It's very clear now.
Keep reading now.
Are you there now? Please read.
It's not clear. It's not clear.
It's very clear.
So let me read this. Let me read it for you guys.
Please, who is reading for us? So.
Friday is reading. A task force to encourage. A task force to encourage the carpooling conducted a study. A task force to encourage the carpooling conducted a study of one-way commuting distances. Of one-way commuting distances of workers in the downtown Dallas area. Full stop. In the downtown Dallas area. Full stop.
Don't write full stop. Oh.
A random sample of 60 of these workers. A random sample of 60 of these workers was taken. A random sample of 60 of these workers was taken. Full stop. The counting distances. The counting distances of the workers. The counting distances of the workers in the sample area. The counting distances of the workers in the sample are. So please, I will need to see the other hand. Given below. In the sample are given below. Full stop. Make a frequency table for the data. Make a frequency table for the data. So that's the question. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Okay, let's quickly continue. Our time is fast spent. I don't know.
Thank you very much. Sir.
So let's continue, please. Kindly mute yourself for you to enjoy this class. Mute yourself. First thing I want you to check. You have, this is on group data, according to the what we were told last time. This is on group data. Now, from the on group data, we all know what to do when to find a frequency table to get the tally, how many, we know it's 60, but we have to put them in different classes. Now, at this point, we need to check the class width. How do we get the class width? I will show us the formula to get the class width. Excuse me. And after that, I will also explain some things, certain things to us. Now that we have the table, let's first of all know how many table, what is going to be our, how many classes do we want in this case? What is the highest value and what is the lowest value? Let's somebody to tell us. The highest value is what?
46.
47,
Highest,
sir.
highest.
47.
47.
47, good.
47.
The highest value is 47.
Now, what is the lowest?
1.
1. So,
1.
okay, thank you. Let's mute ourselves. We have highest, we have lowest. Let's check.
Oh, I don't know.
Sorry, please mute yourself. Just behave yourself for once, please. You don't like the class to be interactive. Maybe I will change the setting as from next class so that I won't allow you to ask questions, to communicate at all. If you like that, I can do it. It's easier. Please mute yourself. Respect yourself. You are a mature student, please. Thank you. So let's move on. To the class. Now, we were here the last time. So we need what we call the class width. We want to know how many class. Let's check the table in your hand. Like how many class. The first step we need to do is to know the number of classes. The number of classes we want to have. For example, look at the one we did now. How many classes do we have here? Let's count them. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 classes. So in this case now, how many classes do we plan to have? It depends. Some can say, I want to have 4 classes.
Some can say 5.
Some can say, I want to have 5 classes. Some can say, I want to have 8 classes. It all depends on you, how you break it down. But we are not there for now. But let's make it simple. Let's say we want to have 4 classes. How do we determine the class width? Class width. So we want to check the class width. So the first thing we need to check in the class width is going to be the largest value. The largest data, let me put it there, or okay, let me use value so that people will know. The largest value minus the smallest value. Divided by number desired minus divided by desired number of classes. Don't forget, largest value, we want to know the width of that class. The largest value minus the smallest value. Now we know the largest value is what? 47 minus 1 divided by 4. Where do we get 47? 47 is the largest value in the data set. The divided by 4. 4 is the desired. I can say my own is divided by 5. Remember the definition, desired number of classes. Is what you desire will determine what denominator will be. Yes, Abosedi.
Please, my network went off, so I couldn't get how you.
Don't worry,
I
you will
didn't
get
know
the
how
video.
you get the formula.
The formula is very simple. Note yourself. If your network is misbehaving, don't bother yourself. You will also have the video, the recording. Now, class width is very simple. The largest value minus smallest value divided by desired number. Where do we have the largest value? From the data set you have. Remember, the data set we have in this case is from this table. Somebody, they did a sample. It's like they asked you to go and collect the sample, collect the data from people. How many people, how many miles? They said one-way commuting distances in miles for 60 workers in downtown Dallas. So the largest value in this case is what? Let's check. You see it here?
47.
We have 40 here,
47.
not 40. You have to check it column by column or row by row, either of the two. And make sure you discover it. This is 46. Don't just look around, but make sure you check line by line. So before we now reach 47, here is 1, which is the lowest.
Yes, sir.
Am I communicating now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I don't know. So we have it here, 47. So what we did is very simple. Try to pick it from 47 and put it. Said 47 minus, okay, in this context now, we use 4.
Sorry, sir. The network logged me out. How do you get this photo?
I've told you.
Desired number.
Okay.
Desired number means the number of classes I want to work with. Okay, let me go back. to my board. Desired number is 44. I can choose. Okay, let me pick a random value. Let's say desired number is 5, right? Or let's do the one of 4 first. So when you divide the 4, what do you have here?
11.5.
11.5. Round up, it's approximately 12.
You have 12.
To the whole number.
Yes, sir.
Approximate it to the whole number, 12. Now, are we there now? Let's assume that somebody else said, okay, my own is 47 minus 1 divided by 5. What do you have?
We have 10.5.
9.2.
9.2.
9.2.
9.2.
Yes.
So approximately is what?
9.
9.5.
9. It can't be 9.5. Is it up to 5? No. 9. So another set, say, divided by 6. What is it, please? 6.
7.85. 7.885.
Where did you get that from?
7 point what, please?
7.6.
7.85, 7.6. Which one?
7.6.
7.7. Approximately 8. Don't worry. It's whole number that I'm after. Suzanne.
It's not up to 8, sir. 7.6.
We know, but it's more that remember in
Approximated.
approximation. When you have, remember, this is 9. Why do we make sure it's 9? Because it's not up to 5 points. Anything up to 5 points, we make sure this one returns to whole number. Is that okay? So far, this one is more than 0.5. We make it to be. If look at the first one, it's 0.5. So we said it's 12. It's all number we are interested in. The value, the table we are given is not point. Let's quickly go to the table. I'm taking my time to explain this because I will not come back to this particular table again. Any other questions, you will be solving it by yourself. So now we have this. This is the table. So now let's look at the way we solve this one. We round it up like we did in class with. Then we can go ahead and create lower class limits and upper class limits. Then in this case now, our lower class limit is the lowest data value that can fit in the classes, in a class. For example, let's go to the class. I want you to do, we are not going to do the issue of tally. You know the way we calculate the tally. Now, class limit now from the table. We have class limit now. In our class limit, remember, we are using, I have my desired point now. My desired point is, my desired class in this case is 4. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Desired classes is 4, meaning that everything I'm going to do here, I must not have more than 4 classes. That is the meaning. If my desire is 5, I must not have more than 5. If my desire is 6, I must not have more than 6. Now, and everything in that classes must be involved. We know the frequency to be 60. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
How many workers are we dealing with?
60 workers.
60 workers. So when you sum your frequency, it must reach that 60. Okay. The first class, remember, approximately our class width is 12, meaning the 12 will be between them. So we have 1 to 12. That is our first class. So what is the frequency? Go to your table, everybody. Any number that fall between, any speed that fall between 12, 1 to 12, go and start it. Use asterisk for them. Just asterisk them. Let's go there. Row column by column. Any number that is within this class, go and do it. Mark them. Any number between 1 to 12 from this table. Just take your time. One by one, asterisk them. Just type it. Just keep your own. Put it on a chart. Don't say it. Yes. So put it in a chart. Okay, somebody said 19, 23. Okay.
18.
21. Okay. 19, 20. Okay, finally 20. Okay. Aha. Now I can see 24. 17. See, you have to go there one by go to each row, each column. Okay. If you know your answer is, if your answer, okay, somebody is changing his mind. I can see 22 again. I can see 21, 23. Okay, if your answer, please. Very interesting.
It's
This is not Baba Jebu.
23.
Those of you that are playing Lotto, this is not Lotto. You have to do the work first.
That is 23, sir. 22.
Okay, no problem.
It's
Don't
23.
just make noise. Don't
23,
worry.
sir.
Okay, let's go.
We can't go now.
Wait, let's count it by ourselves. It's okay. It's okay. Let's stop. We will know. Okay, everybody, please listen.
It's 22,
Hello.
sir. 22.
I agree with you. Don't worry. You are right. All the values.
21, 22, it's 22.
Okay, let's look at it together. Please listen. The first answer, 22 or 23?
23, sir.
23,
22, final answer.
23, sir.
23.
It's okay. It's okay. Let's count it together, please.
53.
It is, I know. Let's count it together. Please mute yourself. The first one. Wait, just write it. Just write it down. Write the. I will be telling you. You will be writing it down. Now we have 7, 1, 2, 3. This is 3 now. For the first column, 3. The second column, we have 1. Are you writing it down, please?
Yes.
Yes, sir. We're writing it.
Somebody is using 2 gadgets. Please kindly mute one, please. I can hear echo from there. So the next one. Are you there now?
Yes, on 3.
This one is 4.
3.
So the next one.
4.
Wait,
5.
we are in column 3 now.
Yes, it's 4.
Which is 1,
4.
2, 3, 4.
3, 4.
Write it down. Column 4. 1, 2.
2.
Column 5. 1, 2. Column 6.
Nothing.
0. Column 7.
2, 3.
2.
3.
1, 2, 3.
2.
3.
We have column 7, right?
Yes, ma'am.
1, 2, 3.
For column 7, 1, 2, 3. Column 8.
1.
1. Column 9. 1,
2, 3.
3. Column 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Add everything together. What do you have?
3.
Is what?
23.
23, sir. 23.
23.
23.
How many of you got it?
I got
I
it.
got it, sir. I got it.
Okay, let's continue.
We got it.
23. You have to be careful. This is where people mix it. Once you mix your frequency, there's nothing you want to get. Okay, the next class will be what?
13 to
24.
24.
13 to 24. Okay, let's continue. Oh, yeah, put it there. Let's continue.
Plenty.
So let's list it. 13 to 24. Then the next 25 to what?
Give me this.
36. To 36.
36. And the last one, because we are using 4.
36 to 48.
37. 37. It won't be
to
36
48.
again.
11 to 48.
Okay. Now let's quickly do it.
School is back.
I hope it's interesting.
Yes, sir. Very interesting.
Yes, sir.
Ow.
Who is still 19 now?
It's 23, sir.
23, sir.
Olufumilayo, you raise up your hand. Yes. So the answer for second is what, please? Anybody?
23, sir. 23, sir.
23.
23.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
23.
21. It's 23, please. Count
Okay,
well.
listen to me. It's very simple. You see the way I counted the first one. Do the same thing.
It's 23.
Do the same thing.
It's 23, sir.
It's still 23, sir.
So let's do the next class.
Okay.
Next one is 8.
8.
And the last one is what?
6.
6.
Okay. Okay, now that we have idea, we can go ahead. Everybody calculate your class midpoint. Calculate your class midpoint. Class midpoint. Calculate your class midpoint. Yeah. Any question?
Can I go ahead with the class midpoint?
Yes, calculate your class midpoint. Calculate it by
I've already
yourself.
calculated it. I just want to know whether I can go ahead with the result.
Okay, tell us the results.
Okay, the first one is 6.5.
Okay.
Second one is 18.5.
Okay.
Third one is 30.5. And the fourth is 42.5.
Okay. Now, let me share my screen for the purpose of others.
So please, can you still explain it? I don't understand.
And that is why I said, let me explain.
Okay.
Now, do we agree? Can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, the second class is what?
13
frequency.
to
23.
Frequency 23.
The next one is what?
8.
8. And the other one is?
6.
6. If where you are, if it's noisy, please don't use your microphone, except if you have urgent things to say, please. Thank you. Now, we need class mark or class midpoint. So how do we do that? For the class midpoint, class midpoint, like we say, the class midpoint is the same thing as lower class limit plus, I don't know why people are just simple instruction they will not follow. Simple, just simple. Mute yourself. You have kids with you. Just mute yourself, please. Okay, we have lower class limits. Because some of you, okay, lower, let me write it like this. Class limit plus upper class limit divided by what? Divided by 2.
By 2.
Divided by 2. Now let's go to, yes, let's go to our class limit. The first one is lower. This is the lower class. Let me use this. This is lower. And this is upper. Lower class limit. Then this is upper class limit, like that, till you reach down. So we can go ahead and now write it that, okay, since we have upper and lower, we can write it like the first lower there is 1. Okay, let me change the pen again, please. We have 1 plus 12 divided by 2. 1 plus 12 is what? 13 divided by 2. 13. Equals to what?
6.5.
7.5.
6.5.
6.5.
Equals to what?
6.5.
I hope the madam that is, you are asking the question, you are okay now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please mute yourself. Okay, so it's going to be 6.5
What is that?
So the next one will be 13 plus 24. What's the answer?
37.
18.
13 plus 24
divided by 2.
37.
18.5.
Is what?
18.5.
18.5.
Yes, sir.
25.
The next one is what?
25 plus 36.
25
Is what?
plus 36.
25 plus 36.
And what's the answer?
61.
30.5. And the last one is
32.5.
80 divided by 2, 42.5.
Divided by 2.
okay. Now,
Don't stress me. I will kill you.
Don't kill someone, I beg you.
okay, let's continue. So we have this. The next thing you need to do is to calculate the class boundary. We have the midpoint now. For class boundary, I've explained to you the class boundary, the way you calculate it. So our class boundary will be, I can claim this one now.
Yes, sir.
So the class boundary will be for the class boundary. So I'll pick this. So it's going to be lower class limit
minus 5. Minus 0.5.
So for lower class boundaries now, we have lower class boundary. Lower class boundary will be
lower class limit
1 minus, or let me write it, lower
class limit minus 0.5.
Limit minus minus 0.5. Why the upper is equals to upper class limit plus
0.5.
So can we do that now? The first one is our class limit there 1 to 12, right?
Yeah.
The lower will be 1 minus 0.5.
Which will give us 0.5.
0.5.
Which is
0.5 to 12.5.
0.5.
12.5.
Lower class.
12.5.
So then the next one will be 12 plus
12.5.
12.5. Upper class boundary. So let's write it down. 0.5 to 12.5. So the next one is what?
12.5 to 24.5.
12.5
to
24.5.
And
24.5 to 36.5.
24.5
to 36.5.
6.5, yeah.
36.5. 36.5 to 36.5 to 48.5.
48.5.
It's okay. It's okay. Becky, are you back to the class?
Class, so I don't know what happened. I think
You don't need to know. I was the one that put you there. I said put your mic. If you don't mute it, I will put it a little more.
And I didn't get this one.
Who is?
Just
are
mute
you,
your mic
where
so
you
that
are
you can
is
follow.
noisy. Mute your mic. So the next one is what?
24.5.
4.5 to 36.5.
36.5. The last one?
36.5
to
48.5.
Is 36.5 to what?
48.5.
So what is add there now? I believe you can see how you solve this problem. Somebody is raising up their hands. Who is the person? Yes, Becky.
Sir, sorry, you cut me off, so I didn't get to.
I didn't. You cut yourself. Once I had to. It's simple instruction. Mute yourself. If you don't mute yourself, I'll put you in place. You
Sorry
watch
for
the
that,
video
sir.
later. Let's continue.
I have a question, please.
Go ahead.
Okay, how did you get the 0.5 minus 12.5? The class
That is, it's not minus. So this is just a class interval.
Okay.
That's Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Friday. Saturday we go do.
Laraba. Okay. Yes. Okay, let's continue. So the next thing we can do on this table again is to find the relative frequency. Relative frequency on the same table. Relative frequency. Mute yourself, except if I call you. All this paper you are opening, we can hear. So, okay, for the relative frequency, let's write it down. Relative frequency is the same thing as class frequency divided by total frequency divided by sum, let me just write it down, of all frequency. Sum of all frequency. Now, then we have also the percentage. We have percentage relative. Let me write it down. relative frequency. It's the same thing as the formula to use that is when I mention RF in this case is relative frequency. It's the same thing as RF multiplied by 100%. RF multiplied by 100%. So it returns to that particular relative frequency. So let's continue. From here, we can solve this problem. Let's solve the problem first. Okay, the relative frequency is what is the sum? Let's go to the sum of this. The sum means the total frequency. 60. What is the total frequency here? Anybody?
60.
Total frequency is what? 60. Now, we can now solve from the total frequency that the relative frequency for the class 1 is what?
$23 divided by 60.
Relative.
That would be 38.3.
0.5.
So
23 divided by 60.
Just hold on. The relative frequency for the first class is what?
23 divided by 60, which will give us 0.38, approximately 0.4.
0.38.
So the first one is, let's go there. Let's take it one after the other. So the first frequency in this case, let's take it, is this one, yellow, 23. Now, the 23 says must be divided by total frequency. That is what the law says. So for us to divide it by total frequency, we're going to have something similar. That is going to be 23 divided by 60. The answer is what? 0.8.
Approximately 0.4.
Don't approximate. It is 0.38.
Okay.
0.38. The second one.
The second one is the same thing.
Remember, it's the same frequency, so you don't need to punch your calculator. So the third one.
0.13.
8 divided by 60, right?
Yes, sir.
0.133, right?
Yes, sir.
The last one is
0.1.
0.1.
0.1. So for the percentage, RF, the percentage will be 0.38 multiplied by 100%.
38%.
Is what?
38%.
Let me write it down. Just hold on. 0.38 times 100% is equals to
38%.
38%. The next one is 0.38
38%
times 100. 38%. And the next one will be 0.133 times 100.
13%.
13.3.
13.3%, not 13%.
13.3%.
Okay, this one will be what?
10%. 0.1 times 100%.
Is what?
10%.
Now, somebody should add this together. And someone should add this together.
99%. 99.3%.
The first one is what?
0.993.
So now I will say this. Your relative frequency must equal to 1.
Yes, sir.
And the percentage must equal to 100.
100.
Now, the reason why you are getting 0.9 is because of your approximation. Assuming you leave the same answer the way it is, you will surely get 1.0. And here you get 100.
100.
Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
So if you are getting something above 1, you know you are making mistake. Error is there. So please take note. Any question on this? And the last one that I want to, my time, we know our time. You guys press me too much today because all this is not clear. It's not clear. I don't know when.
Sorry about that, sir.
It will be clear. Please mute yourself. NURTW. So let's look at the last one, cumulative frequency.
This is still counting. Look, don't fool.
Let's look at cumulative frequency. How do we calculate cumulative frequency? Now, your first frequency is what, please? For the class 1?
23.
23.
23. Are we together now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if the first one is 23, add the first one to the second one. What do you have?
46. 46.
That is cumulative. You are adding them up. 46 plus next one.
54.
54 plus last one.
60.
It must equal to your total frequency. You must add the last number to be your total frequency. Please take notes. Any question?
Yes, sir. I have a question, sir.
Go ahead. Gifts.
My question is
on the what?
Frequency.
Is what?
Frequency, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
The first was 2 decimal. Then the last one, that one was 0.133. Why will not other 3 decimal points?
That is what I was trying to explain. On a normal day, you are not supposed to approximate. You have to add up the way you get it. When you add up the way you get it, just take your time after the class. Write all the, it might be 0.8, 0.38888. Write them down. So that by the time you sum everything together, it will give you the same, it will give you 1. Then for this, I can change this one to 3 decimal places. I can say this, I can change this, I can change this. They are all the same, but that is not my target. My target is, let's try as much as possible to sum everything together and to give us 1. Have I answered your question? Thank you. Yes, Naomi.
Yes, sir, please. That's cumulative frequency. I'm
Yes.
not really cleared. You multiplied 38.
I did not multiply.
Addition, you add.
It's just
Okay.
addition. Look at this frequency now.
Okay. Okay,
Okay.
Are you there now? Look
Yes,
at this
I'm there.
frequency.
Okay, you just added this next one to the first one.
Exactly. This one plus this.
Okay.
Then this plus this.
It's clear, sir. Thank you.
So that is what I did. Olufunmilayo. Yes. We can't hear you. Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Yes, I just want to ask, in the case we have a overlapped data, group data, so how do we calculate the limit?
Limits. Which of you cannot have overlap.
I have come across questions in our material that are overlapped data.
As in for this case?
Not in particular that case.
Okay. Okay, let's go to
yes, like for example, there's a place they put it at 2,000 to 7,000, 7,000 to 12,000, 12,000 to 17,000. So all those ones are overlapped. So how do we solve such a situation?
I'm looking for the table you are talking about for this class.
Page 50. Exercise 4.1 on our study material.
Yeah, page 52.
Page 52. Let's go there. Page 52. That is another topic. People. As a matter of fact, they are talking about pie chart. This one.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Is another topic.
Okay, so we can't.
You can see the question they asked you to do. Histogram or GIF.
Okay.
Can you see it now?
Okay, now, I can see it very well.
It's different from the other class. This particular one, talking about frequency distribution of a salary.
Okay.
Are you getting it now? So what they do in this case most times is there's something we call the class width. You can see that the class interval is the same range. Not that one is overlapped the other one and the other one is not overlapping. So they make sure that the range, the way you arrange it is the same. For example, if I ask you to calculate class limit for this one, you can calculate it. If I ask you to calculate a class back for this one, you can do it. Add the two together, divide it by 2. Because your class interval, the way you measure the class interval in this case is different. By the time we get there, as a matter of fact, I prepare for this question, but unfortunately, now as you're looking, they will not give us. Let me stop. Yeah, as a matter of fact, now